Okay, hello. We have a lag, of course. Yes, the other webcam. Okay. So, you guys are here? Oh, is it okay now? The chat should be enabled. Okay, good. So, Burrito was supposed to do the first part, so I'm gonna do it for him instead. So basically, we're gonna start with what is Inktober and how you can use it to progress. So Inktober is a 31-day challenge happening in October, hence the name. The idea, it was created by Jake Parker, and the idea was to get better at inking. So you're supposed to use ink during the whole month for all of your drawing. I'll show you later what kind of ink you can use. You can also don't use ink, but yeah, we'll come to that later. So really, you have he came up with a list of prompts to help you. We have our own. I'll show you them later too. And so yeah, you have to draw every day for all the months and do practice ink. So it's really about getting into the habit of drawing every day and get better at ink. Sorry. Okay. Do you have questions about what Inktober is? Or been clear enough? Oops, that's not that I need. Okay. So to start, I'm gonna show you what material I use. This is example. Just a quick disclaimer, I have sort of a job, so I have sort of an income, and I'm also working to make my art my career, so I invest a lot in it, which means I also have like a lot of fancy supplies that you don't necessarily need, so just a ballpoint pen or fine liner will work just fine. I'm just showing you options and how you can use them to challenge yourself during this month. So just a heads up that you don't need fancy art supplies to be an artist. You don't even really know to draw. to call yourself an artist. So if you're drawing regularly, like once in a while, shabam, you're an artist. Congrats. So first thing you can use for Inktober are fine liner. These ones are the usual Micron fine liner by Sakura. There are several sizes. This one is 0.55. I like to use smaller, thinner ones. You can use ballpoint pen. This is your regular ballpoint pen. You can also use brush pens. I have several of them. This is the Pentel Pocket brush pen. It has a broad brush nib. You have other like that are felt. I'll show you them in action later when I'll get to drawing. So all around are similar too. What do we have in here? Yeah, this is the same. Like I said, I have a lot. I like to test a lot of supplies, so I can afford them. You can also use your traditional dip pen with a bottle of ink, so it looks like that. Just fetching the ink with liquid ink like this. Oops. And this is where I get ink everywhere. And what I did last year was using ink washes. So I have brushes like for watercolor, and I have little containers like this one where I put water and do various shades of ink, so with Indian ink. So for this you're gonna need water. I have mine in a jam jar. This one is orange marmalade. It's fancy, it's nice, and it closes so you don't have water everywhere in case you just spill it. Okay, so this is it for the material. One last thing about material is always test it before going into your artwork, because I know that one of the brush pen bleeds when I put water on it, so better be safe and test it first. One tip is, like I did, keep your material together, like in the same pen case, on your desk where you can see it, so when you're starting to draw you don't spend a billion hours looking for your supplies. I have also found that having your sketchbook where you can see it is super motivating. That's why I like to do all my drawing in the same sketchbook, because at the end you have something finished. I didn't complete the challenge last year, but that's another story. Okay, do you have a question here? I'm just waiting for the chat to catch up because we have a little lag. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into the tips and tricks. Like I said, I'll show you inking techniques later during the demo. I'm just gonna focus on giving tips and tricks on how to make the best of this monthly challenge and hopefully survive it. So tip number one. Since it's a traditional setup, I don't have fancy slides to show you, so you just have to keep up with me. But really it's more like condensed pep talks, condensed into tips, so you don't really need to take notes. I'm just gonna flip through last year's sketchbook so you don't feel like staring at a blank screen. So yeah, my first tip is don't overwhelm yourself. It's kind of the reason why I didn't complete the challenge last year. I was a little too ambitious and my projects were more than I could invest daily. Yes, I followed the official prompt. This is Swift, so I drew Taylor Swift in a kind of a realistic way, which is really challenging for me. So yeah, the prompts were inspiring and I had a lot of ideas. The only thing is that I made things too big and too complicated. Like I stopped at the Balrog that I'll show you later because it was way too complicated. So yeah, the goal of this challenge is to get you into the habit of drawing every day, not produce a masterpiece every day. So get better at inking, and so yeah, it's a 2-in-1. So don't be too ambitious. Sorry. Challenge yourself, sure, but not too much. Not to the point you feel like you're not gonna make it. So this leads me to my tip number 2. I'll just keep flipping through this so you can be stunned by my marvelous hearts. Okay, tip number 2. You don't have to follow the rules. Yay! First, if the prompt doesn't suit you, fine. I'm not gonna chase you into hell to make you draw it, absolutely. Draw something else, pick another prompt that you find more inspiring. It's okay, don't worry, no vengeful unicorns will come hunt you. You can do the prompts in order or not, you can change the prompts, combine the prompts, skip a day, it's okay. Do what makes you happy. You're here to have fun. Don't make it a core. So if you don't feel like drawing like duality, I know it's one of the prompts and it's kind of weird. Just pick a pencil, draw a silly cat, you're done. You did it, great. And yes, I said that you can skip a day. You can even skip several through the challenge. Maybe not 7 in a row because it wouldn't really serve the purpose of the challenge. But don't worry if you missed 1 or 2 days. You can even decide that you're only gonna do 2 drawings per week or something like this. Because remember, the challenge is about creating a drawing habit. So if you only draw like sporadically, once in a month or something, just drawing twice a week for a month is a huge improvement. So how you can get into this habit, just set a time in a day, set a timer in, go. If you have 15 minutes, I'm sure you have, I mean, I can see you almost every day spending at least 15 minutes in the MQE server, so you have 15 minutes. So instead of just posting silly meme on MQE, just grab a pencil, an ink pen, and draw for 15 minutes. Maybe it's gonna be ugly. It's probably not going to look as good as you would have wished it to, because let's be honest, it never does. But damn, you actually drew something, so to me it's a win. And remember, my friends, it's never a failure, always a lesson. I'm gonna make this my mission to say that in every of my workshop. So even when you feel like you're going nowhere, that your drawing is ugly, or that you messed up your inking, you can still be proud of you, and so keep going. The only failure is giving up. So yeah, lots of pep talk. I'm gonna moving on with more tips. I think it's the tip number 3, but yeah, I just give up counting them, to be honest. So yeah, you can totally use a pencil to sketch your ID first. That's what I do. There's no shame in it. Honestly, inking straight up on the page is freaking scary. And while it's all nice and sparkly to challenge yourself, if it blocks you because you're so damn afraid of messing up that you never start, just grab a pencil and an eraser and sketch it lightly, then inking, and bam, you're still a winner. Remember, you can't lose Inktober. It's not a contest. So that's my next tip, the fourth, if I'm correct. Don't compare to others. Okay, I usually spend 1 to 2 hours on a drawing, like those ones where 1 hour sketching, 1 hour drawing, like 1 hour inking. So yeah, I probably won't be able to keep up during all October with 2 hours drawing. And I know that most of you don't have that time. Some have school, some have jobs. So don't compare your 10-minute scribbles to 2 hours full inked piece, okay? That is the only rule you will have to follow. Don't freaking compare yourself or your art to others. We'll have a support channel and you will be able to share your artworks in the regular art channel on the server. And while I highly encourage you to share your work so we can all get hyped together and yeah, like support ourselves, if you don't feel like sharing it, just don't. It's okay. Just remember that you made it. You took that ink pen, you drew today, so yeah, you can be proud of you. Okay, I'm sort of running low on pep talks now, but I still want to mention some things before showing you getting into the demo part. Maybe the idea of drawing 21 drawing per day is too much. So instead of doing that, you can totally take a big piece of paper. Where is it? There. Like this one is an A3 format, and you can draw, I did a small example here. You can draw 31 small drawings on the page for all the month, and so at the end you still have something finished. So this is the Dragon Prince fan art, and yes, I drew that one in one sitting. That took me 2 hours, but yeah, you could have totally drew Bait on day 1, Ezran on day 2, this little symbol here on day 3 because we really didn't have any time. And just imagine this on a full piece of paper like this. I think it's pretty awesome to have like 31 drawing on a big sheet of paper. Okay, I think I haven't finished yet. Scrolling through this. Okay. One last thing before we jumped into the scary nice parts where I draw. I'm just gonna give you the biggest pat on the shoulder and tell you that just like it's okay to miss a day, it's okay to get ahead. No, you're not cheating. Not more than with NaNoWriMo, when some days you don't write, some days you blast a 5K. Like if you know your Monday will be so busy you won't have time to draw, but you have like 2 hours free on the weekend, just draw for your 2 hours on your weekend. This is probably what I'm gonna do. I like to ink my drawing of the day, then start sketching the drawing of the next day. So that way, when I start, I just have to sit down and ink, which sort of get me into the mood of sketching for the following day's prompt. And if you cannot keep up with your planning ahead and you actually fall behind, don't give up. Skip a day. It's fine. You're fine. You're actually drawing and inking and making progress. You're awesome. Yeah, so these are the 2 last drawings where I gave up. The Balrog was just too much. I just did this yesterday to try the cross-hatching technique I'm gonna show you later. And that was the last prompt I did, which was Furious. and I'm kind of sad because I wanted to do the Why So Furious, but yeah, I didn't finish it, so there we go. Okay, so do you have questions? I'm gonna start working on the pieces, so as I draw. Bear with me, it's 7 a.m. and I'm not good at multitasking, so I'll try to keep an eye on the chat to see if you have questions. This is gonna be like, it's not gonna be like boring, but maybe if I'm not gonna have to say much, so if you want to put music on or something like that, just go ahead. So I'm gonna ink this drawing here. This is an OC of a friend, and I'm just gonna experiment a little with the inking tools so you can see them in action. So I've got the fine liner, where's the dip pen, my dip pen, and like this brush pen I like. Those are a little tricky. I'm not gonna use the big pencil brush pen, this one. I'm just gonna show you on the piece of paper. And there we go. To show you how it works, because it's a little too much for me. I'm not sure I can do it. I'll use it during Inktober, but it's, yeah, it's super hard to yeah, it's yeah, I need to get used to it, so I'll challenge myself when I'm not on stream. Okay, I don't know. South, we gonna you can start drawing, or you can watch me ink this as you wish. Okay, so now the first, the regular ink pen. I have ink everywhere. Yeah, so just one quick note about this drawing. This is a light sketch I did in pencil, and this light sketch had been traced on a light pad from a way messier sketch. Let me show you. Oops. There we go. See, I had to actually work to get that line. So yeah, just don't think I just proud clean lines effortlessly like that. Okay, it's been traced. So inking. So this is the first step you're all gonna do. Yeah, so here the trick is to give character and depth to your line. So work on line weight and think about light and shadow, and make a line thicker to push things forwards, and lines thinner where the light is hitting. It's super useful when you start on the next step. Okay. Well, the stream is lagging. I'll try to stay. Like, inking is, for me, I have to be super focused, so I'm sorry I don't talk. But yeah, this is just your regular fine liner. This one is a 0.5. And for example, here you can add some line weight to give more depth to the drawing. You can also use a brush pen. And this one is way thicker. and it's like more difficult to use, especially when you have curves, to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm gonna move my drawing a lot because it's easier. Woo! I also have to be careful not to put my head in front of the webcam. Yeah, Tess, I relate to that. I have to be super focused too, and like my eyes are super near, and I'm tense as hell when I draw. Okay, I'm not gonna use this one because I know from experience. Well, I'm just gonna show you on there here. It's way thicker than the other one, so I'm not super comfortable to using it for super detailed parts. So I'm just gonna. Also, one tip when you're inking, just don't do like when I'm doing right now, like do a piece here, another piece here. Try to start and then go from there. If you're left-handed, start to go from right to left. Otherwise, you're gonna smear ink everywhere and it's gonna be a mess. Okay, I'm just gonna show you. Let me fetch paper towel. I need to glue that. Okay, so the pen, I really like the pen. Come on. This can be scary because you have the risk of ink blob if you put too much ink. But I don't know, I really like the pen. If you have questions about what material I use, just ask. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. And if you get bored, just grab a pencil and take a look at the prompt of the day on the server and draw the prompt of the day. So I'm gonna try to do that kind of live stream. I really like to do like 2 a week during Inktober, where we would like draw together. But I don't know my schedule, if my schedule will be able to keep up with that. Oops. And if you mess up like I just did, just smooth the line. You've got a big blob, but if you put another big blob somewhere else, like here, oh come on. It will even things out and you'll be okay. Yeah, I did an Inktober list prompt. I'll post it on the server later. I have it here if you want to take a look at it. Oh, there must be a freaking glare. Whoops. There you go. This one was made specially for the server. And so pick a prompt, draw with me. Yeah, I printed it out. Where was I? I don't put music on the background because I don't want copyright infringement. Okay, come on. Oops. Chaos, what is this prompt? Oh my god. Draw a gladiator armed with a rolling pin and a frying pan. Oh my god. Where left got that? Oh my god. I also like I don't know if you can hear, but the sound of the nib on the paper. I think it's, some people might cringe at it, but I like it. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a brush pen. I like a brush pen. This one is a felter tip brush pen. It's easier to control than the usual hairbrush pen. And what I like about the brush pen like that is that you can give the line weight really easily without having to go back to your line. I'm kind of rushing a little because I want to show you next step. So we don't lose too much time. So yeah, if I have one advice, or if you want to try brush pen is by a felt brush pen. I know some artists can draw with the pentel pocket brush pen just like that, but I can't. But this is what Inktober is for, get better at it. So I'll definitely try to do it. Whoops. Well, those is gonna have like a little dent in his horn. It's okay. Also, I forgot to mention the using mixed media paper, which I would recommend you to use as well. You can totally use your printer paper, it's okay, don't worry. But if you're going to do some fancy stuff like me, I'll look into, oops, this line wasn't supposed to go here. Oh well. If you want to do some fancy stuff like I'm gonna do now, mixed media paper is your best choice, because it's not as good as watercolor paper, but it can still handle like a lot, so you should be good. Okay, and I've taped it onto like a thingy, a hard thingy, so it doesn't buckle too much when I'm using water. So I'm just gonna wait a sec for the ink to dry before erasing the lines. While we wait for this to dry, where did I put it? I'm gonna show you quickly the cross hatching technique I just learned yesterday, so be patient with me. But yeah, the idea is to, like I did here, is to shade using lines. So you want to start maybe the pen is not the best, but you want to do like a line, and then you cross hatch, and you can even add a little more to add more shadow. I tried with pencil and it looks way better than with ink, but people can do like amazing masterpiece using this technique. So just Google. I'm just like my second time doing this, so yeah, just don't take my example. People really do amazing stuff with this technique, so I recommend you check it out on Google or Pinterest. I think it's really good technique to learn where to place shadows. And if I have one advice to give you based on what I've seen yesterday while I was browsing to this, is to always start your flicking motion on the same side, so it add it adds more depth to the shadow, if that makes sense. Something like this. So yeah, could go on like there. There's a lot of scales, so I could go on for a moment here. So, are you dry enough to be erased? There we go. Oh yeah, one tool that I forgot to mention that you probably saw was white pens, which are actually useful when you mess up like I did here, and you can just try to hide this. I would use white acrylic paint to hide this, but yeah. So next part, I'm gonna show you quick ink washes. So you've got your water. This is where I start confusing my tea to my water, my ink water. I usually use like 4 of these to have like 4 various shades of gray. And this is another Indian ink, but it's okay. Just put some ink in here. Okay. And then I use this thingy, no idea how you call that in English. I think it's a pipette. At least in French it's a pipette. So, and I add water to the ink. Then I take some here and I add more water. So like it's a little experimental. As for brushes, I recommend like cheap brushes as well. These ones were like $2 because ink is you cannot really on there it's kind of don't use your fancy squirrel hair brushes with ink. I think it's okay. So you want to have you want to test your color first to see if this one is pretty light. But I know that the horn are kind of light, so I'm just gonna remember that it dries lighter than it looks when it's wet. I didn't go too much into the tiny details of line weight here, but because I wanted to go to the next step as fast as I can. So I know his mask is rather dark, so I'm gonna use like a darker shade. And just like with watercolor, the ink goes where the water is, so you want to make sure that one area is dry before starting working on the next one. been 1 year since I have done ink washes, so I'm kind of rusty, but you get the idea. But again, this is just me doing the fanciest inking technique for Inktober, okay? You really don't have to do that. If you want to, just, yeah, fine. But if you just want to draw something with a ballpoint pen, you're fine as well. Okay. So I don't really have much to tell you. So if you have yeah, questions or anything, feel free to ask. I don't know how long we'll keep going on with the live stream. If you want to see the finished piece, just stay. But yeah, I don't have much to say except random thought as I draw. Okay, I usually use a hair dryer to make things dry faster, but I'm not gonna do that now. I'm gonna spare you the noise of the hair dryer. Yes, Chaos ink. I just I saw that you can do that with ink, like last year when I started on Inktober. But yeah, it's just regular Indian ink, and you dilute it, and it works like that. I think I don't want to say something that I ignore, but I think like Japanese are kind of using this technique, but I'm not sure, so I better check it out. And you can totally use colored ink. I like to stick to like black ink and grayscale oh crap, and grayscale drawing for Inktober, because for me the challenge has to be in black. But really, if you want to use, I know even some people even do this digitally, so why not? If you're not good at drawing digitally and you want to challenge yourself by drawing digitally each day to progress, then I guess it's fine. But yeah. And one tool that is really important, I guess, I think it's the one you all have, and like it's the cheapest one, it's paper towel. This is super useful. You can create a texture by dabbing it on the area, and if you messed up, and like you see me using this a lot when I go out of the area I'm supposed to paint, you can dab it to lift off the pigment. It really works like watercolor. Oh crap, it's not dry enough. And you have to wait until it's really dry to add a second layer, otherwise it's gonna be it's gonna make weird effects. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stream for like 10 minutes. So we will have 1 hour of workshop. So really not a workshop. Are you drawing, by the way? you guys. I'm gonna blast the hair dryer. I just can't wait for this to dry. It's driving me insane. Okay, wait a sec, I'm gonna grab the... Okay, I'm gonna mute myself while I make this dry. So it doesn't have weird noise. Okay, good. It makes less noise than I thought it would, so. Okay, this is not... Where is my ink? Crap. There. This is not dark enough. Oh, I get it, Chaos. I get it. Why so furious? There we go. So one thing that is different with ink than it is with watercolor is that when it's dry, you cannot touch it. With watercolor, you can re-wet it, some kind of, and you can try to correct thing if you messed up. But yeah, it's Indian ink, it's archive ink, so you can't touch that. There we go. From my experience, chaos, yes, it layer well like watercolor. I'm not super experienced with it, so I can tell you for sure, but this one was pretty well, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna dry. Good. Where's this one? I'm probably gonna do the eyes super dark, so I don't have to worry if I go. Oops. And I'm sorry if my table moves. My setting is the wackiest ever because I don't have a real proper desk. I'm using a camping table, so it moves. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm trying it. I'm just too impatient to wait for it to dry, so oops. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, this is where I messed up the inking. I'll just use acrylic paints to cover up the mess up. Okay. Well, I don't know if you guys want to see me finish the piece or if you have something better to do. Just let me know if you want to stay. I still have time, so I can work on it more if you want. Stop, you're too cute. Stop it. Okay. Well, just let me know if you leave, and so I don't spend the day streaming for you. Okay, what color can I use for this? Oops. I forgot. And yeah, Chaos, no worries. Your event is more important than watching me dabble ink on a paper. Okay, what can I do now? Annette, is that you, love? I'm not perfect. Ah, you are, you're the best. And thanks, Chaos. I don't feel like I'm teaching you anything, but this is probably gonna be what I'm going to do like all for Inktober. You're gonna have pep talk. I'm gonna try to do pep talk. Cause like I feel like it's what I'm doing best. It's pep talk. Ouch. Okay, I'm still. Ooh, that's dark. I don't have much advice to give you while working with ink washes, because I'm kind of still, even if I did it last year for Inktober, I'm still kind of new to it, so I can only teach you with my failure on stream. Well, not my failure, my experimentation, because it's never a failure, always a lesson. This one is metallic. So metal is pretty light, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna try shading it. I'm gonna use this one. Which is something I'm really not good at yet. I don't really know how to use watercolor and all that jazz to shade. Yeah, really, paper towel is your best friend with that kind of technique. I'm gonna try to look into for license-free music for the next stream, so you don't have to deal with the silence. can I do now? Oh yeah, I could shade that. I hate shading because I never know where to put the light and the shadow. Love, you gotta teach me. But you're probably dying in there right now, so. Oops. Shading with me is a little like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm sort of having fun, so it's okay. But like, there's only 2 of you watching now, so I think I'm gonna end up here. Because I won't keep going for too long neither, so. Oh, I see you're drawing chaos. Nice. That's okay. For those of you who are still watching, thank you for joining and staying and cheering. You're awesome. You can do it. We can do all Inktober together. This is gonna be fun. I'll see you in the next stream. So thanks again, and see you next time.